A pleasant day to everyone. We are Group 6 and we will be presenting blood pressure apparatus with stethoscope. For the overview of our presentation, we will first have the description with its parts, functions, and applications of the blood pressure apparatus and stethoscope. Next would be the proper usage with its steps and procedures, counseling with additional information, and new device which is the Dermal Iontophoresis system. A blood pressure apparatus with stethoscope is a medical device used to measure blood pressure. The blood pressure apparatus can also be called a sphygmomanometer, a blood pressure meter, a blood pressure gauge, or a blood pressure monitor. The blood pressure apparatus has five main parts. First is the bladder. The bladder is an inflatable bag that is used to compress the arm to occlude the artery. To ensure full arterial compression, bladders must have a specific sizing parameters. Second is the cuff. This is designed to hold the bladder around the arm during the measurement. For accurate measurement, the cuff must be designed properly with respect to placement and the position. Third is the manometer or the gauge. This is a device used to measure the air pressure in millimeters of mercury. The manometer is used in an aneroid sphygmomanometer, which consists of a watch-like movement to measure the air pressure applied to the cuff. To expand the diaphragm, the gauge has a series of copper or beryllium, and there are gears to convert the linear movement of the diaphragm to get the readings in millimeters of mercury. Fourth is the valve. This is used as a deflative valve to control the cuff. This plays a vital role in getting an accurate measurement. Fifth, bulb. This is used to pump the air into the cuff. One of the significant applications of a sphygmomanometer is to measure blood pressure. There are two types, which is the digital and manual. The digital device is easy to read and anyone can use it, while a manual sphygmomanometer requires a stethoscope, and trained medical practitioners mainly use it. One can learn blood pressure values in millimeters of mercury by observing through the mercury column. The size of the cuffs matter a lot because too large can result in lower pressure, while a smaller one can result in high demand. The blood pressure apparatus can also be used to monitor the effectiveness of medications. It contains two readings, which is the systolic and the diastolic. The systolic is the upper number, while the denominator represents the diastolic. Your blood pressure is not supposed to surpass the 120/80, which is average range. Doctors prescribe medicine for diseases that cause high blood pressure and later use the sphygmomanometer for evaluation. If your blood pressure improves or reduces, that means that the medication is functioning as intended. Third, it also helps to control hypertension. Hypertension is a condition caused by high blood pressure. A medical practitioner uses the sphygmomanometer to control hypertension. It helps both doctors and patients to understand what action is needed after every reading to manage this disorder. Fourth, it helps to detect various diseases. High blood pressure can result of an underlying illness. Doctors detect these underlying illnesses using the data collected from the sphygmomanometer. Shallow readings can also be a sign of another disease. Blood pressure is always among the first thing to be checked when we go for a medical checkup. Some doctors can easily detect the disease you are suffering from just by looking at the readings. Regular readings indicate that somebody has a good condition. However, other tests are carried out for certainty. Fifth, the sphygmomanometer is not only used in humans, but it can also be used for animals. Veterinary doctors use this device to diagnose animals. It helps to control specific diseases and also detect new infections. High blood pressure is mostly associated with very critical health issues in animals. Blood pressure varies according to the type of animal. For example, the giraffe has the highest blood pressure of 300 millimeters of mercury, while the chelonians have the lowest of 30 millimeters of mercury. The stethoscope is used to listen for heartbeats, sounds caused by air inhalation and exhalation in the lungs, in respiratory pathways, and also in stomach movement. It is an extremely useful diagnostic tool for locating issues and diagnosing disease. The stethoscope has 8 main parts. First is the earpieces or the ear tips. Earpieces are the small tips on the ends of the ear tubes that fit into your ears. Some stethoscopes may have a choice of hard plastic or soft silicone earpieces. Second is the ear tube. The ear tubes are hollow metal tubes that connect to the acoustic tubes on one end and the earpieces on the other. Third, the soft flexible line of the stethoscope is also known as its tubing. The purpose of the tubing is to maintain and transfer the frequency or sound level that is captured by the diaphragm or bell and send it to the ear tubes where it can make its way to the user's ears. Fourth, headset. It is the combined components of the upper half of the stethoscope, which include the ear tubes, tension springs, and the earpieces. This allows sound to flow efficiently into the ear canal so that there is minimal disturbance from the stethoscope. Fifth, the stem is basically the metal or steel part of the stethoscope that connects the stethoscopes to the chest piece. Sixth, the chest piece, or the head of the stethoscope, is composed of the connected stem, diaphragm, and bell. 7. The diaphragm is the large circular end of the chest piece. This side of the device allows medical professionals to listen to a wider area of the patient's body and pick up higher frequency sounds than the bell half of the chest piece. Eighth, the bell is the smaller circular end of the chest piece. This side of the device focuses on a narrower range and listens for lower frequency sounds that may not be easily detected by the diaphragm. For the applications of the stethoscope, a stethoscope helps to find the normal or the lub-dub versus the abnormal heart sounds or the heart murmurs, and also to diagnose valve functions. Stethoscopes can indicate fluid in lungs in case of pneumonia and pulmonary edema. It can diagnose airway diseases like bronchitis and pleuritis. Lastly, stethoscopes are also used to compare movements in the normal versus overactive or underactive intestinal tract. We will be having a short demonstration of the proper usage of the blood pressure apparatus and stethoscope.
Place the cuff evenly tight on the bare upper arm 1 inch above the bend of the elbow, tight enough that only two fingertips can slip under the top edge. Make sure the skin doesn't pinch when the cuff inflates. Place the disc of the stethoscope face down above the brachial artery under the cuff. Rest the gauge in the open palm of the hand of the cuffed arm so that it is clearly visible. Then squeeze the pump rapidly with the opposite hand until the gauge reads 20 to 30 points above the usual systolic pressure. Turn the knob on the pump in a counterclockwise manner to let the air out slowly. After that, let the pressure fall 2 millimeters per second while listening for the heart sounds. The first sound you hear is the systolic pressure, and when the beating sound stops, it is the diastolic pressure.
Patients can learn a lot from us pharmacists, one of which is on how to properly use a blood pressure apparatus with stethoscope. Patients can be helped even more by pharmacists making sure they understand the right protocol for using these monitors, as well as factors that could alter the accuracy of the data, such as stress and smoking. To help ensure accurate blood pressure monitoring, maybe at home, some advice can assist patients in understanding and monitoring their own blood pressure using blood pressure apparatus and stethoscope. And now I'm going to explain to you the proper way of using the blood pressure apparatus and stethoscope. First, we have checking the device's accuracy. Have your doctor confirm the monitor's accuracy against the office model before using it for the first time. Also, have your doctor observe you using the gadget to ensure you are doing it correctly. If you drop or damage the device, have it checked before you use it again. Next, measure blood pressure properly. The first measurement should be taken first thing in the morning, before eating or taking any drugs, and the second should be taken later in the evening. Take 2 or 3 readings each time you measure to ensure your results are accurate, and your doctor may advise you to check your blood pressure at the same time every day. Third one, avoid food, caffeine, tobacco, and alcohol for 30 minutes before taking a measurement. Go to the toilet first. A full bladder can increase blood pressure slightly. For the fourth one, sit quietly before and during monitoring. When you are ready, sit for 5 minutes in a comfortable position with your legs and ankles across and your back supported against a chair to take your blood pressure. Try to be calm and avoid thinking about anything stressful. When you are taking your blood pressure, do not talk. For the fifth one, make sure your arm is positioned properly. When taking your blood pressure, always use the same arm. Rest your arm on a table, desk, or armchair, lifted to the level of your heart. To elevate your arm high enough, you may need to position a pillow or a cushion under it. Next one, place the cuff on bare skin, not over clothing. If you roll up a sleeve until it tightens around your arm, you may need to remove your arm from the sleeve to get an accurate reading. And for the last one, take a repeat reading. After 1 to 3 minutes, take another reading to double check the accuracy of the first. If your monitor doesn't automatically record your blood pressure or heart rate, make a note of it.
Iontophoresis is a non-invasive method for increasing the concentration of a charged substance, such as a medication or bioactive agents, through repulsive electromotive force using a small electrical current applied to an iontophoretic chamber containing a similarly charged active agents and its vehicle. Iontophoresis is used by physical therapists to treat a wide variety of conditions and to help manage scar tissues. The procedure of iontophoresis involves passing an electrical current through skin that has been soaked in tap water, normal saline with 0.9%, or a solution containing an anticholinergic medication, allowing ionized charged particles to pass through the normal skin barriers. Iontophoresis also promotes the penetration of charged and neutral substances and allows for controlled medication administration through the electromigration and electroosmosis processes. The following list are the advantages of transdermal iontophoresis system. 1. Medication are delivered directly to the treatment site. 2. Avoid the chance of over or underdosing by continuous delivery of drugs programmed at the needed therapeutic rate. 3. Provides options for patients unable to receive injection and minimize potential for tissue trauma from injection. 4. It avoids contamination of drug reservoir for the extended period of time. 5. Has a controlled drug delivery with customized drug input rates.